typical day like in coaching?
Yeah, so for coaching, when I get off work at 5 o'clock, I work till 10 at night every night on the hour. So I'm either training a group of people or I'm training one-on-one. And there's nothing that I dislike about that at all. There's really not anything I dislike. I love it, all of that. I love training and mentoring people, and I love helping someone believe in themselves a little bit more so they really go do something big, whatever big is for them. But giving people that hope and that dream again inside of them, and then giving them the skill they need to do it. So it's one thing to, dream something. It's another thing to really take action and go do something. So in the coaching, I love training people and helping them have a skill where they're confident to go do something.
What skills are most important in your job?
Oh, lots of skill, because you're teaching people skill. You have to own your skill. So I believe that coaches must be coached. I have 5 personal coaches, and I have 5 because I work on all the pillars of life. I have financial coach, a spiritual coach. I have a physical and health coach, and a couple mindset coaches. If you're coaching people, you have to be up on your game. It's just like if you were a football coach. You may not get out in the field with the players and throw the ball, but you better know strategy. You better know the game. So football coaches have coaches, right? Basketball coaches have coaches. So the one thing that I constantly work on is staying mentored, coached, and on my skill that I'm in the field doing it. I'm actually doing the work that I'm teaching people to do so that I keep that skill. It takes a lot of skill to be a coach. Because you have to own that skill that you're teaching. So for example, if you're a life coach is a broad word. So you're a life coach, but what's your specialty? You could have an organization skill. So maybe you teach people organization. You meet on Zooms or you go to people's houses, whatever you could do in person or online, and you teach people how to just get organize their closets, organize their home. You may have that specialty and gift, right? So you have the gift, but you got to work the muscle. You got to stay in tune and maybe take some classes and learn yourself and stay in continuing training. Just like if I were going to go be a nurse, I have to have continuing education, right? What you do 5 years ago isn't the same. Equipment, things change, right? So, yes, you have to have skill. More importantly, I think if people do what they love, it's never work. And if you do what God gives you to do with your abilities, it's never hard. So if whatever your niche is, own that and show people how to do it. So if you're a good organizer, go do it. If you have a talent of, I'm trying to think of some things. If you have a health talent, maybe you know how to really take care of your health. You know how to eat right, food prep. You've owned that skill. You can teach others that, right? Or maybe you have a gift or a skill with laws of attraction, and you know how to stay positive and teach people how to be positive. Maybe you have a gift of gratitude. You know how to be super grateful for everything you have. That's a skill. It's a skill that people don't have, and if they implement it in their life, their lives will change like in 3 days. I use gratitude 3 days. But these are skills that you have to do, live by. People can smell Coach mile away that's not living it. Right. You got to be walking the walk, not just talking the talk. So coaches have to be skilled. They have to stay in training, stay mentored, stay coachable.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the biggest challenge you've faced at work?
I'm such a positive person. It's so hard to answer negatives.
I know, that's the kind of questions they gave me.
The only challenge I have for coaching is, and it's not with clients, it's more the outside world, like in anything, is the critics, the naysayers. Why would somebody have a coach? Why would somebody pay somebody for coaching and that person is the one that really needs to coach? So that is a challenge, because it can be a challenge if you allow that to take root, that I'm not worthy, but I don't allow that to take root because I always consider the source. The person saying that is the one that needs a coach, but they'll turn on television and pay for TV every month, and it doesn't help them. Like you're letting celebrities coach you and program your mind instead of a coach who's had an experience who could help you. So that's the biggest challenge, I think, is the respect of our industry And that's in anything. You know, you have naysayers in every industry. If I were to open an ice cream shop, there would be somebody who hated ice cream and wanted to know why I would do something like that.
What are the advancements and like growth opportunities as a life coach?
Oh my gosh, I love it because, well, the one of the probably cons of life coaching is that young people, it's harder for them. So coming out of college for you to be a life coach, not that you can't, but people, especially older people, look at your experience in the world, your experience in business, or your experience as just as a coach. So you've got to stick with it. So if you're young, you know, the con or the challenge is you've got to stick with us 3 to 5 years to prove yourself. And that's before one client. If you're older and you've been there, done that, man, the opportunity is crazy good for any coaching or life coaching. And it's these stats with the revolution of online marketing. If you're doing it right and you're getting yourself out there correctly online, the stats are that people can earn 30 grand to 100 grand their first year as a coach.
Wow.
So if you look at any other industry like network marketing, only 2% ever make 100 grand. That's sad. That's sad because that just shows me people quit. They quit. But even as coaches, when you look at the numbers, you're in a 30% mark. 30% of people make 30 grand their first year as a coach.
Wow.
So the numbers are higher. When you talk about stats and numbers and people not giving up too soon, I don't know why that is. I don't have the psychology behind that, but I do know that it's about giving up too soon in network marketing versus coaching. But with the revolution today with social media, I would say someone would be brain dead not to either have a network marketing business or a coaching business.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion. I hate to say the word brain dead, but my thing is just for the tax write-offs alone, because we're in a digital age and you can reach people all over the world without advertising. If you build social media correctly, you can build your business online for free.
Right.
And then the whole fact of the home-based business tax write-offs, if you live in the US and you don't have a home-based business, you're throwing thousands of dollars out the door every month.
Wow.
So, and I'm not saying not to have a job. That's why I have a job. I get incredible tax breaks. I make $10.99 money and don't pay tax on it, and I get a big old fat refund because I have a W-2. The one thing I hate about that W-2 though is I have to show up at a certain time, right?
Right.
But you have to take the sacrifice. So is it the time or is it, the big refund I get? Because I have a home-based business and a W-2, I get to keep a lot of money. So it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
Oh, okay.
It's about how much you keep, right? So for me, it's about just the tax write-off alone. If you're working your side hustle consistently with intent to make money, you're going to have huge tax breaks.
Right.
Yeah.
What's something that most people don't know about this career?
Oh, goodness. Well, it's work. People see the gravy train of a coach. Like I could talk about Brandon Bouchard. Okay, if you don't know Brandon, go look him up. His name is spelled Brenden, I think, not A-N. Brandon Bouchard. I mean, you see the glory day today. I've watched this guy for 8 years. I watched when nobody followed him, nobody liked him online, to now he's filling auditoriums with people.
Wow.
But I can tell you that Brendan had his head down working 12, 14-hour days. He's doing the hustle and grind when nobody else. Just like today, Julia, to give you my schedule. When we hop off, it's going to be my noon in about 45 minutes, okay? My noon, I have a 12 o'clock, a 1 o'clock, a 2 o'clock, a 3 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, one-on-one client. I'll be sitting right here at my desk, or I might be on the phone. I can be on my phone and be remote as well. I could be in the car doing that. That's the beauty of home base and working by your phone. But I'm dedicated to those people because they paid me.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to show up for your clients, right? You can't just take people's money and be like, oh, poof out, right? Like a real coach that works hard. So when I see Brendan and filling auditoriums, I can tell you he's working. He's working it when I'm watching TV. He's working it. When I'm out with family outside with the sunshine, he's working it. whatever everybody else does on a Saturday. If it's go out to eat, hang out at the park, go watch TV, I'm not doing that. I'm working it. So I've worked all week at my job, and then on my weekends, I don't get the luxury life because I'm in the hustle and grind. Because one day I can have luxury. I can be beachside with my grandkids. But most people don't think. They want instant right now. They live in the moment right now, and they don't think about themselves in retirement. That's why most people don't retire, and they live check to check, and they can barely graze through. I don't want my life that way. I want to impact people, and whenever I'm a grandparent, I want to stop, and my money still rolls in because I built it. I built it. I can charge more for my time when I have a result. But most coaches, they go in wanting to charge a bunch of money, and they've had no results. How do you fill an auditorium with no results? You got to go prove the result. You got to go put your time into people. So then they start talking and saying, this girl really helped me, or Brandon Bouchard really helped me. And then you can fill those auditoriums. But people want instant gratification. They want to fill an auditorium before doing the work. So I'll tell you, and I don't even know what the question was. I kind of got off track. But coaching takes work, real energy, just like a business. If I were opening a Subway shop, I got to be there and work it hard. It's hard work. I got to be there and own my business. With coaching, you got to own your business, and you're going to be there around the clock when everybody else is outside having fun. But guess what? Those people live check to check and wonder how they're going to pay their bills. I'm not living that way. I don't want to live that way. I want to have more for my family, and then I work now. My why is for my retirement. It's not for money right now to spend. It's for money to grow. I want to invest. I want my grandkids to be well off. I want us to be well off in retirement, so we're not living check to check. So yes, we have a financial goal, but then it's also about helping people. I truly want to help people, and I want to be in a testimony. So if I can be a part of someone's story that this gal met with me and something she said changed my life, that's my why. That I helped empower somebody, because you know what? Somebody helped me and said something for me to go change my family's history.
So, Kebie, just kind of on my own personal side note away from this, the reason that I'm looking at this as, going for my master's for life coaching is that I want to help people. That's primarily why I'm looking at this. And so is that primarily why you went into life coaching, is you wanted to help people?
Yes. So I'm a trainer at my job. I'm a trainer. I've been a corporate trainer for years. I love to train people. I like to say, I found a skill. This works. Now let me teach somebody. I know that scripturally there's a harvest as well if we share our talents, right? Not hold them up inside. We got to share. And so I've been a trainer a long time, and then there's a difference in training and coaching. Coaches pull people to a higher place. Coaches really are ministers. To me, they're like your evangelistic ministers who are pulling people up, calling them to a higher place, and holding them accountable. So I call it the tough love theory. It's the we got to be hard when we got to be hard. We got to be strong. We got to be strong. We got to be loving when we need to be loving. And it takes a special person to be a coach, because we're also a soundboard. We're almost like a therapist too. So we've got to take all that in and then release it. We don't want people's garbage in our brains, right? So for you, yes, you can do this. And what I would recommend any coach or anyone going into coaching is own your skill. Figure out what you're passionate about. What do you love working on? And then you can specialize in that, because life coaching is a big umbrella. You've got to pick a specialty. Elizabeth Smart, her story, she was abducted and kidnapped out of her home. And this couple terrorized her and traumatized her. And instead of making it a problem that why me, God, why me? I've got to share the story. I need to tell people that their trauma doesn't rule them, right? So her story's amazing. And now she's a published author, and she's actually coaching people in trauma that have went through this. So we can take our circumstances, because that's all they are, our poor circumstances sometimes, and help someone else, and living through that and going through that gives you that experience and that one up on any education. So
Right.
certification, education cannot you can't put a price on experience, right?
Right.
So I'm very proud of you and your mom. And yeah, you know, the people working hard, the hustlers, the Brandon Bouchards, right? Or the
Right.
John Maxwells. Lots of people know John Maxwell. They see the glory today. We didn't see the hustle that John Maxwell did before today. We just see
Right.
today. We see
Right.
that he has 20 coaches under him, and he don't even coach anymore. He just trains coaches, right, to coach for him.
Right.
But we didn't see when he didn't have one client, when he was wondering how he's going to get one client, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I think it's great. What I would tell you is that any coaching that you go to do, or anybody else that watches this, I'm actually going to probably put this up on YouTube. It's such a good interview, Julia. Thank you for your time. But what I recommend is that, yes, you get your certification, you focus on your schooling, and you get that training you need, and then you stay in training, you stay in mentorship, but then you need someone to teach you ground up how to implement the program. So many coaches, they go graduate and then they're like, what do I do now? You've got to go hire somebody to teach you how to put this thing together, right?
Right.
And that's what I do, by the way. I coach coaches on how to take their programs ground up.
Okay. So if you could do it all over again, would you choose this career again?
Absolutely. I would start sooner.